Understanding emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the skill that sits beneath confidence, communication, relationships, leadership, and social success. Many people mistakenly believe they are shy, awkward, or socially weak, when in reality, they simply lack emotional understanding. You cannot master social skills until you first master what happens inside you. Emotional intelligence begins with one simple question: why do I feel the way I feel? When you can answer that with honesty, clarity, and awareness, you unlock a new level of power. Every emotion you experience is a message. Fear is telling you something feels unsafe. Anger is telling you something feels unfair. Sadness is telling you something needs healing. But most people never take the time to understand these messages. Instead, they react impulsively or avoid emotions entirely. This is why interactions feel uncomfortable, because when you don't understand yourself, it becomes harder to understand others. Emotional intelligence flips this completely. It teaches you to slow down, observe your inner world, and respond from clarity rather than confusion. You are not shy because something is wrong with you. You simply have not learned how to read your emotional signals. When your emotions feel overwhelming, you naturally pull back from people. When you feel misunderstood, you naturally stay quiet. When you fear judgment, you naturally avoid social situations. These reactions are not signs of shyness, they are signs of emotional overload. And overload happens when emotions go unprocessed. Emotional intelligence helps you decode your internal responses. It gives you the ability to name what you feel: stress, insecurity, discomfort, hesitation, without letting those feelings paralyze you. Once you name an emotion, you weaken its power over you. Instead of saying, "I feel awkward," you can say, "I feel uncertain because this environment is unfamiliar." Now the feeling becomes understandable, manageable, and far less intimidating. Understanding transforms emotion into information. The next layer of emotional intelligence is understanding why emotions arise. Maybe you grew up in an environment where speaking up wasn't encouraged. Maybe you faced criticism in the past that made you doubt your voice. Maybe you learned to overthink because you feared making mistakes. When you understand the root, the reaction stops feeling like a flaw. It becomes a pattern you can rewrite. This awareness also helps you read others better. Once you understand your own cues, you naturally become more sensitive to the cues of the people around you. You notice when someone is nervous, when someone is distracted, when someone is open, and when someone is guarded. This is the secret behind great social skills. People who connect well do not focus on saying the perfect words, they focus on understanding emotions, both their own and the emotions of others. With emotional intelligence comes confidence, not because you become perfect, but because you finally feel in control. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop misinterpreting situations. You stop assuming people are judging you. You begin interacting with calmness, presence, and self-trust. You were never shy. You were emotionally unaware. And the moment you begin mastering emotional intelligence, the social world becomes far easier to navigate. Mastering self-control and emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is the heart of emotional intelligence. It is what separates people who panic from people who remain composed. It is what transforms someone who feels socially anxious into someone who appears naturally confident. Emotional regulation is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about managing them in a healthy, controlled, powerful way. The truth is, most people who struggle socially don't struggle because they're shy. They struggle because they don't know how to stabilize their emotional reactions in the moment. Think about a time when you wanted to speak but felt your heart racing. Or a moment when someone made you uncomfortable and your mind froze. Or a conversation where you overthought every sentence. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs that your nervous system is overwhelmed. Emotional regulation teaches you to calm that system so you can stay grounded, present, and in control. The first step in emotional regulation is awareness. You must learn to notice the signs of emotional activation. Maybe your chest tightens. Maybe your mind speeds up. Maybe your posture becomes tense. These physical signals appear before your emotions explode into reactions. When you recognize the signals early, you can intervene before anxiety or stress takes over. The next step is pausing. The pause is your power. It is the moment where you choose to respond instead of reacting impulsively. A simple breath, a few seconds of silence, or a quick mental reset can completely change the outcome of a difficult interaction. People who appear confident are not fearless. They just know how to pause long enough to regain control. Emotional regulation also requires detachment. Not detachment from people, but detachment from automatic emotional interpretations. Just because someone uses a sharp tone does not mean they dislike you. Just because a conversation becomes intense does not mean you did something wrong. Just because you feel nervous does not mean you are being judged. People with weak emotional regulation take everything personally. People with strong emotional regulation look at situations objectively. Practicing emotional regulation also helps you speak more confidently. When your emotions are calm, your voice is clearer, your words are smoother, your presence becomes stronger. You don't rush your sentences. You don't overtalk to fill silence. You don't shrink when someone challenges you. Instead, you speak with intention and clarity, which makes others take you seriously. Another key element is emotional endurance, the ability to stay calm under longer periods of discomfort. Sometimes you will face criticism, awkward silence, or unfamiliar environments. Emotional endurance teaches you not to escape these feelings, but to stay present with them until your body realizes there is no real danger. The longer you stay present, the faster your mind learns that social discomfort is survivable. And once your mind believes that, confidence becomes natural. Finally, emotional regulation creates magnetic emotional energy. People trust those who stay calm. People respect those who control their reactions. People gravitate toward those who remain composed when others become emotional. Your presence becomes grounding. Your personality becomes stable, and your energy becomes attractive. When you master emotional regulation, you stop feeling shy because nothing inside you feels out of control anymore. You become the calm in the storm. You become the one who responds instead of reacts. You become the person who carries emotional strength, and emotional strength is what makes you truly socially powerful. Building strong social awareness. Social awareness is the ability to understand people, not just their words, but their emotions, their intentions, their energy, and their unspoken signals. Most people think social skills are about talking a lot, being outgoing, or knowing the right jokes. But in reality, the strongest social skill you can develop is awareness. Social mastery begins not with speaking, but with observing. If you've ever felt like you don't fit in or like you struggle to connect, it's not because you're shy, it's Beck. You haven't learned how to read the social environment around you. Once you learn this skill, conversations become easier. People become more predictable. Social situations become less intimidating. You stop feeling lost and start feeling in control. Social awareness begins with noticing the small things. A slight shift in someone's tone. A moment of hesitation in their words. Their body language, crossed arms, relaxed shoulders, leaning in, looking away. These subtle cues reveal more than what people actually say. When you learn to pick up on these details, you begin to understand people on a deeper level. And when people feel understood, they naturally open up to you. The next part of social awareness is empathy, not emotional absorption, but understanding. You don't need to feel what others feel, you just need to understand why they feel it. When someone is quiet, it might be discomfort. When someone is loud, it might be insecurity. When someone interrupts, it might not be disrespect, it might be anxiety. When you recognize the emotional motivation behind behavior, you stop taking things personally. Instead, you respond intelligently. Social awareness also teaches you how to adapt your energy. Some conversations require softness and calm. Others require confidence and firmness. Some people open up when you listen more. Others open up when you show enthusiasm. Socially skilled people adjust their tone, their pace, and their presence, depending on the environment. This is not being fake. It is being emotionally flexible. Just like you wouldn't speak to a child the same way you speak to your boss, you shouldn't use the same energy in every social setting. Another powerful part of social awareness is sensing boundaries. Many socially struggling individuals don't understand when someone wants space, when someone wants to talk, or when someone feels uncomfortable. When why? Learn to notice boundaries. People begin to trust you. They see you as someone who respects their comfort zone. And trust is the foundation of every strong social connection. Social awareness also improves your timing, when to speak, when to stay silent, when to ask a question, when to change the subject. Timing is the skill that makes conversations feel natural instead of forced. You stop overthinking what to say because you are tuned into the flow of the interaction. But here is the secret. Many people who believe they are shy are naturally observant. They notice details. They think deeply. They read people intuitively. They just never learned how to trust this ability. The moment you shift from observing out of fear to observing with confidence, your natural social intelligence becomes one of your greatest strengths. When you build strong social awareness, you no longer feel out of place. You understand people. You understand the environment. You understand the emotional rhythm of the moment. And that understanding becomes the foundation of effortless, confident communication, transforming confidence through emotional and social mastery. Confidence is not something you force. It is not something you fake. It is something that naturally emerges when your inner world becomes stable and your understanding of people becomes clear. When emotional intelligence meets social awareness, something shifts inside you. You no longer walk into a room hoping people will accept you. You walk in already grounded in who you are. You no longer talk to impress. You talk to connect. You no longer fear conversations. You navigate them with calm certainty. True confidence begins with self-trust, and self-trust is built through consistent emotional mastery. When you can calm your mind, regulate your reactions, and understand your feelings without judgment, you begin to trust yourself in any situation. You know that even if something unexpected happens, you can handle it. You know that even if someone disagrees with you or challenges you, you can stay composed. You know that even if you feel momentary discomfort, you can regulate it. This kind of confidence cannot be shaken because it is built on internal stability, not external validation. As you grow in emotional intelligence, you also grow in emotional resilience. You stop crumbling under pressure. You stop fearing embarrassment. You stop running from discomfort. You start viewing challenges as opportunities to develop strength. The more emotionally resilient you become, the less you fear social interactions. Suddenly, speaking up doesn't feel dangerous. Meeting new people doesn't feel overwhelming. Showing your true personality doesn't feel risky. You realize you are capable of navigating any emotional experience, and that realization alone builds tremendous inner confidence. Social mastery adds the second layer of transformation. Once you understand people, how they think, feel, and communicate, you no longer take things personally. You stop assuming people are judging you. You stop imagining negative outcomes. You understand that most people are preoccupied with their own insecurities, their own stress, their own worries. This awareness frees you from the false pressure you used to put on yourself. With strong social skills, your conversations feel smoother. Your presence becomes warmer. You connect more easily because you understand how to match energy, read emotions, and respond thoughtfully. People feel comfortable around you. They trust you. They respect you. They open up to you. And because of this, your social confidence grows without effort. Confidence is also built through alignment. When your behavior matches your values, emotional and social mastery help you set boundaries, express your needs clearly, and communicate with authenticity. When you live in alignment, you stop feeling awkward or anxious because you are no longer pretending to be someone you're not. You speak from your real identity, and that makes your confidence real. By this point, you begin to see the truth. You were never shy. You were simply unaware of your internal power. You lacked the tools, not the potential. Emotional intelligence gives you control over yourself. Social awareness gives you understanding of others. Together they create a new version of you, a version who is calm, perceptive, confident, and socially powerful. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not forceful. Confidence is calm certainty. It is the quiet knowledge that you can handle any emotional experience and navigate any social situation with clarity and strength. Once you reach that level of mastery, people don't just see you as confident, they feel it in your presence. You don't become someone else. You become the fullest, strongest version of yourself.